Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. We are here this morning. I am in my studio. However, you're going to hear some background noise due to some damage, quite a bit of damage during the storm and then the rain the following days after. We're having repairs being done on our roof and in the walls. So if you hear a lot of machinery, that's what it is. So I apologize for that. But we're going to get started today. And today I want to work on some exercises for gait. So gait refers to your walking ability, the way you walk. So I want to make sure that you're walking safely, correctly, because there is a correct way to walk. We kind of forget that, we start walking around, age 2 or so, and we just don't really think about how we're walking. So as we get a little older and Parkinson's disease changes our posture and causes us to take smaller steps, we want to correct that. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start out first here, and let's just do a little march in place. So I just want you to get warmed up. We're just going to march. And just nice and easy, just kind of getting the legs moving, getting some blood flowing through the body. All right, keep going here. Now we're going to change this march just a little. So what I want you to do here is to step a little wider with your feet and keep marching. And just do it the best you can. So you may not, be exactly in time as I am. In the same time, do the best you can. Keep marching. Bring it back to center. So feet close together. All right, now we're going to work on a little bit of weight shifting next. So if you have a chair, keep your chair close by. You can always use this if you need a little balance support. I'm going to adjust something here real quick. If you need a little bit of balance support, you can always have that chair close by. So first thing we're going to do is a little weight shift side to side. So bring your feet about hip width apart or so. Just shift to the right, to the left. So kind of think about pouring all of your weight into one leg and then the other. So shifting side to side, nice and easy. All right, good. So weight shifting is really important in walking. If you have a hard time doing the weight shifting, you may have more difficulty walking. So just practicing this little weight shift is helpful. All right, now we're going to change this up. So again, if you have a chair close by, feel free to keep a hand on the chair. You can keep it in front of you and hold on to the back of the chair as long as it's a good sturdy chair. So going from that weight shift, we're going to shift to your right leg, and then I want you to step out with your left leg. Step back in, shift into your left leg, step out with the right, and then step back in. All right, so we're shifting, and you really don't even think, once you get the movement going, you don't even really think about the weight shift. You're just shifting into that leg, picking up the other leg, because your weight has to go into that standing leg, into one leg, in order to take the weight out of the other leg to pick it up. So a little side step. Keep going with this one. All right, we're going to do just a couple more of these. Good. Now, last one, finish up here, bring it back to the center. All right, now for the next one, again, hold on to the chair if you need to. I want you to step your right foot just a step forward. So your feet are going to stay in place. Your feet are apart, so you're not heel toe. Feet are apart like you're just taking a step forward. And then we're going to shift forward and back. So forward to the right leg, back to the left. So again, it's just a weight shift. Forward and back, forward and back. So nice and easy again, just keeping that weight shifting forward. Now, one thing I want to mention here, when we're talking about walking and gait and balance, is that you need to have good posture as you're walking. So if you're forward with your shoulders, it's a little harder to get that weight shifting, and also with your balance. You want to try to stand as straight as you can. Get the shoulders back, make sure you're looking straight ahead. All right, now step that right foot back. We're going to switch and step your left foot forward. Same thing, shifting forward and back. And again, here we're going to start thinking about the posture. Chest is open, shoulders back, looking straight ahead. Don't look down at the floor. When we get into a little bit of our walking exercises, you'll see why looking down at the floor is kind of counterintuitive to what you want to be doing for good balance and gait. All right, now step that foot back, feet are apart again. Now this time we're going to do some knee lifts. So we're just going to kind of warm up a little bit more into the hips and the legs. So again, hold on to the chair if you need to. We're going to lift the right knee up. We're going to do 10 of these. So lifting the knee up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, now just switch it over to that left leg. Same thing, lifting the knee up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, very good. Feet apart, stand up tall. Now we're going to move into some steps. So again, if you need to, hold on to the back of the chair. If you're close to a desk or a countertop, you can kind of place the hand on the countertop. So I want you just to take a big step forward with your right leg. So we're going to take a big step forward and then pick up the foot and step back. Now, there's a lot going on here. So as you step forward, you're going to shift into that left leg. The right leg swings out, toes come up, heel comes down. You shift into that front leg. And then to pick up the foot, you have to shift back to that back leg and pick up the foot. All right, so that's really broken down. We're going to slow it down. That was slowing it down. We're going to speed it up, just a normal step. So right leg again, step forward, step back, step forward, step back. Now you can see as I'm stepping, I'm lifting my toes. I'm lifting the front of the foot. Heel comes down first. So you can see here, heel strikes, toes pull up, and then you step into that right leg. All right, keep going. And again, I'm going to explain a little bit about the step with the heel toe as we go along here. All right, just do 2 more steps with that right leg. Last one. Good. Now we're going to switch it over, stepping with the left leg. So same thing, heel comes down, heel strike, down into that foot. So weight shifts and step back. Now if you have a hand on the chair, try taking a bigger step if you can. So if you don't have very good balance, your step might not be very big. But I want you to really try to work on a big step as we're doing these. All right, keep going here. Again, as you step out, heel comes down, toes lift, and then step into that front foot. All right, good. 2 more. Last one. All right, very good. Now we're going to alternate that. So here's what you're going to do. I'll show you first. So you're going to step and step, step and step. All right, so big forward step. So we're going to step with the right leg, step with the left leg. Okay, so step, step. Go ahead and take a step back. Again, step, step. Take a step back. Good. Hold on to that chair if you need to on the step back. Now, just one more of these. We're going to change it up just a little bit here. All right, so what we're going to do here is as you're doing those steps forward, I'm going to turn to the side, and you are welcome to take that chair again kind of to your side. Or again, countertop works really well for these exercises. So if you need to, again, hand here, I want you to kind of start by checking your posture. So standing nice and tall, shoulders back, looking straight ahead. Now, here's what I mean when we're talking about looking straight ahead. If you're looking down and you're walking, you can see my posture is forward and I have more weight forward, which I don't want to have. I want my weight to be over my legs. So that automatically changes your posture and your balance because it's shifting your balance forward. You want to try to keep everything over the feet, the legs, the body, so that you're standing up tall, looking straight ahead. So your head being forward, dropping down, looking at the floor. And a lot of people want to do this because they feel like they need to see where they're going so they don't trip over anything. But you want to use your eyes. So you can still look straight ahead, but still see down to the floor. So make sure you're keeping your head up. Don't look down at the floor. Keep the head up to keep the posture a little straighter. All right, so we're going to take some steps. We're going to start, you can start on whichever leg you want. Most of the time we kind of have a habit of starting with one leg when we step. We don't even think about it. So main thing, starting off good posture, shoulders back, looking straight ahead. We're going to take about 2 or 3 steps forward. So stepping. Good. Now, next thing I want you to do as you step, we're going to practice turning. So you're here, instead of stepping back, which we are going to work a little bit on, I want you to turn. Now, the mistake a lot of people with Parkinson's disease make is that they try to kind of rotate on the feet like we normally do, but that becomes a little harder to do with Parkinson's, so it can actually affect your balance. So the better thing to do is to step in the direction you're turning. So I am turning, I'm opposite of you with the camera. So I'm turning to my right. So I want to step with my right foot and then step around and step. Now you can see my feet are apart. So I'm going to take some steps again. Okay, now I'm going to turn to my left. This is my left. So I'm going to step with my left leg. Now you can see my feet are apart as I'm stepping. Okay, so the one thing you don't want to do, and let me just show you with the turn here, is you don't want to step and then step with that opposite foot to where you cross your feet. So if you cross your legs, you are more likely to fall right here. You don't have good balance and you're more likely to shift and fall over. So make sure that you keep the feet apart, you step with the leg in the direction you're turning. So if I'm turning here to my right, I'm going to step with my right foot first and then step with the left, keep the feet apart and turn. Okay, so we're going to do that again. Let me turn here. And then we're going to take a couple of steps, 2 or 3 steps, whatever you have the room for. We're going to turn and then step the opposite direction. Okay, so here we go. Standing up tall, shoulders back, lifting the toes. I'm going to turn, stepping with the leg in the direction I'm turning. Okay, good. Get your balance. Step again. Good. Now turn with the leg in the direction you're stepping. Get your balance and then step. Good. Okay, so some of the things you see that I'm doing here is that when I turn and I change directions, I am stopping first before I take a step. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to get here and then your feet aren't even in place and then you try to start walking right away. So kind of get yourself set, take a little pause, get yourself set, and then step. Now, again, you can see with my feet that I am lifting my toes up when I'm walking. Lifting your toes is probably one of the most important things you can do for better balance and gait and to prevent falls. A lot of times what happens is as we get older and with certain diseases such as Parkinson's, we start to just shuffle the feet. So you can see I'm not even picking up my feet, I'm just shuffling. If you're at home and you have even just a low carpet, you can easily catch your foot when you're doing this and trip. And that's what happens a lot of times when we fall. We, literally like trip over our own feet because we're not picking up the foot when we walk. So you want to make sure that you're lifting the toes. So the heel comes down, toes lift, heel comes down, toes lift. Now, if there's anything you practice, I want you to practice that. Lifting the toes every time. I don't care how many steps you're taking. If you're just walking around the house, make sure that you're lifting your toes when you're walking. All right, so let's do that again. Shoulders back, looking straight ahead. Let's take some steps. Now we're going to turn. Take some steps. Heel toe. Good. Now, here's another thing we're going to do. So I'm going to turn, get myself started here. Now, again, there are a lot of different components, a lot of different things that go into walking properly and walking with proper balance and gait. One of the things that we do tend to lose with Parkinson's disease is our arm swing. So you have to kind of force that, think about doing it as you're walking. So here's what normal gait would look like. So if I'm walking, okay, I'm going to stop. You can see my right leg is forward, my left arm is forward. So the opposite arm swings. So as I step, the opposite arm comes forward, opposite arm comes forward. All right, so here's another one. Now, if you use a walker, of course, you want to keep your hands on the walker. You don't even worry about that. You need to be safe with that walker. All right, so again, let's kind of think about swinging the opposite arm as you step. So again, right leg, left arm. Okay, here we go. So step. Good. I'm going to stop so I'm not out of the range of the camera. I'm going to turn. And I'm going to do that again. Good. So you can see a lot of things going on there. Good posture, head up, looking straight ahead, shoulders back. Lifting the toes, heel comes down, the opposite arm swings forward. And that's how you work on good, proper gait, good gait, and good balance. So those are some things that you can do at home. When you're walking around the house, a lot of times we think, oh, we don't have to think about this unless we're out walking somewhere. Most falls do occur in the home. So you have to be just as careful in your home as you would be in the store or walking down the sidewalk, because you're just as likely to fall in your home, more likely than you are somewhere else. So we tend to be a lot more cautious if we're out, at the grocery store. We tend to be more cautious, with our balance and our gait and all of those kind of things. We're not so much at home because we're comfortable. We don't think about it. We just get up to go get something out of the refrigerator, and sometimes you fall. So important, very important to think about all of these things as you're walking around your house. Now, another thing I'm going to remind you and tell you, if you use a walker and your doctor or your physical therapist has said you need to use that walker at home as well. I know it's a hindrance. You have to get that walker. You have to, move it around with you every place in the house. But that walker is there for a reason. So make sure that you use it at home too. Don't leave it in the other room and think, oh, that's fine. I'm just going to go into the living room and watch TV. You could fall, unfortunately, in that time. So if you need to use a walker, use it all the time. All right, let's just walk a few more times here. So again, I'm going to kind of step back just a little bit, and then we're going to step. Good. And then you're going to turn and step. Good. Now again, turn. Make sure you get your balance. Step. Good. Turn and step. Okay. Now, next thing we're going to do, last thing we're going to do, and this is a little more advanced, so if you're not quite sure about doing this, that's okay. So what I want to show you here is when you're walking forward. So remember, we talked about walking forward, heel toe. So your toes always lift as you step. Now, what about if you need to take a step back? Now, we usually don't walk backwards, so that's nothing that we need to be concerned about. But what if I start to lose my balance and I need to take a step back to gain my balance? So what you want to do is to be able to step back properly. So instead of heel toe when you walk forward, now you're going to go toe, heel, toe, heel. Okay, so you can see my feet are flat. I have balance over my feet. Okay, so practice a few of those. Again, you can hold on to a kitchen counter if that's helpful as you do this, and just practice walking forward, heel toe, lifting the toes, taking a couple of steps back, toe, heel. Now you can see as I walk, whether it's forward or back, I want to try to stay upright as much as possible. So I'm not leaning forward, I'm not leaning back. What you don't want to do, again, is when you're walking forward, you don't want to lean forward. But then as you're walking back, you don't want to lean back because you're more likely to fall that way. So don't lean in the direction that you're walking. So toe, heel, going back, heel, toe, walking forward. Good. Again, toe, heel, going back. And even if it's one step that you take back, just to make sure you can get those feet down, you have good posture, good balance here, and you're not leaning back into it. And then take your steps forward. Good. Again, stepping back, heel, and stepping forward, heel toe. Okay, good. All right, so that's all I have today for Gait. Again, make sure that when you practice these exercises that you're in a safe place, you have a good sturdy chair nearby or a countertop that you can keep your hand onto, excuse me, for a little balance support. If your balance is not really great, make sure somebody is there with you at home before you practice these exercises. So you always want to challenge yourself, challenge yourself to take bigger steps, challenge your posture, all of those things, but make sure that you're safe first and foremost. So practice these exercises. Make sure you're lifting the toes when you're walking, no shuffling, and we will see you back next time. Thank you and have a great Tuesday.